Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chris Williams, and today we're in the Plaid Studios. I'm thrilled that I get to share with you this time with our good friend, Donna Dewberry.
Hi, guys.
Donna is the creator, I should say the original creator, of the FolkArt One Stroke method of decorative painting. And I welcome you to our third round of our quarterly roundup. We've been doing Let's Paint Flower of the Month all year long, and I hope each and every one of you are painting right along with us. Right, Donna?
That's right. I'm checking, I'm looking at those pictures, I'm loving seeing it.
Yes, so many folks who are painting along with us are posting their pictures in Plaid's Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group, and I have loved watching every single one of you post those pictures. And as you know, as we have been painting through the year, after we finish and complete 3 months worth, we have been doing a quarterly roundup. So that's what we're going to do here today. But before we begin on our roundup, let's share with them, Donna, what we've done. So this is the flower that's called Larkspur. And that was one of Donna's favorite paintings, I think, right?
You guys have been painting this so well. I was so thrilled to see how well they turned out. But I wouldn't know that if you don't post it. All right, so share.
That is the Larkspur. This flower is the Gladiola. This was the next month's flower, which would have been, this is July, August.
Different kind of containers. Be sure you look at the containers because we teach you a lot with those.
This also had an interesting background too, Donna.
Oh, yeah. We, instead of doing a fence, what did we do? Just a faux look of wood background?
Yeah, it was kind of like, almost like a wood picket fence.
Yeah.
And this one I love because this is Morning Glory for the month of September.
And she likes that she inspired that log over there.
Well, it's not a log. It's a rotten fence post is what it is. Throughout the video, Donna kept saying the log, the tree, the whatever. I'm like, it's a fence post, Donna. So now that we've done these 3 flowers for the month with our quarterly roundup, let me share with you what you saw in the beginning of our video today. Is Donna's going to teach us a bouquet using all 3 of those flowers. And I think without further ado, let's just go ahead and start in on our background. How about that, Donna?
Sounds good, because we have a lot to get done, and I'm excited every time and can't believe every time we make it happen, right? So we've got the sponge where I'm going to just put a little bit of water. What do we call this? A natural?
This is our FolkArt Home Decor sponge, and it's actually included in the kit, the Let's Paint kit, that also comes with paints and reusable teaching guides. And let's tell them about the paint that you're working with, Donna.
Okay, I love this Prussian blue, and it's kind of a new color brought back, which is really nice. And I'm holding the white. This is wicker white. I'm pouncing in the wicker white. I barely dampen the sponge, but just with my fingers, don't go inside the water. I know y'all have heard me say this most of the year so far. And then I'm going to go around the edge, and I want you to see how it marbles in there, and you get, I want the dark all the way to the white. And in the background, we're getting pretty strokes of flowers. And sometimes, if you have white edges, you really need a color behind it. But what happened with these, look, I get darker sometimes and darker around the edge. But with these, there was plenty of pretty color on the white. It was all right to have it white in the middle. So I went all the way around the edge. Can y'all see that? It's pretty quick with this sponge. I like it a little bit better than I like a sea sponge. This is a faux, would you say it's a faux sea sponge?
It is a man-made sponge,
it's a man-made.
Yes, Donna.
And what's really good about this man-made sponge is I can scrub off chalk paint when I'm doing a finish on a piece of furniture. I can do all kinds of stuff with the sponge. And if it's full of paint like this, I just go right to the sink, even if it's loaded with chalk paint or acrylics like we're using. And I go right to the water, to the sink, and I squish it out, and it's like brand new again. All right.
Let's tell all our viewers, Donna, about the type of paint that you're working with. You're working with the FolkArt Multi-Surface brand of paint.
Yeah.
Our FolkArt Multi-Surface paint is just that. And if you look at the labels that are on each of the bottles, you will see that there is a birdhouse indicating that it might be a wood surface. It works on glass, it works on metal, on tin, on many different types of surfaces. And we can share with you here too a couple different things that were painted for the flowers of the month.
Look how cute. You can just buy those ready-made at the store and then paint something pretty on it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our FolkArt multi-surface paint is a multi-surface acrylic paint. It cleans up with soap and water, as Donna just mentioned real quickly. And it's just a great paint for many, many different types of surfaces.
Okay, I'm going to toss this in the water, but let me explain something to you. You should be doing your edges. This one's framed, so we didn't have to do the edges. And you could get darker on some edges than other, or you can finish your whole piece and go back and just tap in more colors if you want more colors. All right, so that's the beauty of it. It's fun, easy. Just make sure that it what do you call it, kind of ombres across?
A gradation of color?
Gradation of color, yeah.
I love that Prussian blue too. That was a color that Plaid had years ago, and it's just been brought back to life this year. So it's really a fun color, isn't it, Donna?
It is. And what we're going to use next, I want you to see that with, this is going to dry a few seconds, but we're putting green. We can go right on there now. But I want you to see that we're doing our July flower, which was a larkspur. And when we're adding that larkspur, it kind of was the center and of the flower arrangement, because I was trying to put all three flowers together, and sometimes the three flowers in the month as you go together was a little bit difficult for me to get together.
Yes.
But
well, they might not even be blooming in the same season either.
I know, but Miss Chris had this idea, so I think we worked it good together.
You did a great job, Donna.
Yeah, putting the colors together. So because of that, I want you to look at this design really quick. Now, when I'm looking at the design, this is a triangle, so I'm doing a stalk of flowers here, and sometimes you're going to see on the quarterlies, it might not necessarily be that way. But all the stem and the greenery.
Greenery?
Yes. Tongue twist. So what we're going to do here is I had blue, and then I wanted blue on both sides. So see, I have a triangle of blue. That's a design thing. And then instead of having all this blue here and all this blue there and the gladiolas in the middle, I kind of broke it up a little bit. So you see a triangle of the gladiola and a triangle of the morning glories. But also the blue is in three places. Can y'all see that? So that helps you see it when you're like, you know, famous for saying, but I don't know where to put it, all right? So I'm going to go out and away, and I'm going to put stems, even though, see, you don't really see my stems, but if I put my stems, it helps me to be able to decorate and design, all right? We have a nice group here watching, so I like to talk to them too as I'm talking to you guys.
And Donna, just before we get going on teaching how to paint a larkspur, let's show everyone one of the components of the Let's Paint kit. And I think you're very proud of this aspect of it, aren't you, Donna?
Only because I painted so many for y'all.
Yes. With every single Let's Paint kit that is sold, inside the kit you receive this beautiful little black folder, hand-painted and hand-autographed by Donna Dewberry. So everyone has a little section or a piece of her work.
Right.
And you know what, Donna? I've heard so many people say that they're not using this as a storage folder for their reusable teaching guides, but many people have already told us that they are framing them.
Really?
And using it as artwork because it is an original piece of Donna's art.
Well, thank you guys. That's a compliment.
So if you were using this as a storage folder, what you're going to store inside here is the reusable teaching guide. And you have one for every single month that there is within the year. All 12 different flowers are here. With every single reusable teaching guide, and Donna's going to actually show you how to work with one in a minute, you're going to get the hero flower of the month. This happens to be carnation, and it is the flower for the month of January.
And I like this part.
Yes, there's a little supply list and brush list up here at the top. We've included the actual meaning of every single flower on all of the reusable teaching guides. And then when you flip it over, you can actually paint stroke by stroke along with Donna. She's going to teach you. It is like I always say, having the teacher in at home with you. It's right. Donna in a box. And then we're showing you too with the multi-surface line of paints. You can paint on metal, on wood, on glass, and the canvas that we're doing today. So I just wanted to share with you all 12 of the reusable teaching guides, and now Donna's going to share with you on the Larkspur how to actually use it and paint with it. So I'm going to turn that over to you.
I want to share with you the important thing I say that I tell people to do is when you buy this supply kit for Flowers of the Month, keep all your paints and brushes and teaching guides in that box, because then the minute I'm coming on with the next month and you're ready to paint it, just grab that box, open it up, and it's all enclosed instead of searching around for the. It's a really good, nice setup, and we have everything you need to make that happen, and you're ready to go in class. All right. So let me. I don't want to put this on here. Yeah,
I'll take that.
I'll let you move it for me.
Uh-huh.
All right. So the first thing I want you to do, there's a couple of things. We're going to do some more different greenery all in at the same time right now. I might wait on some of my vines. But I will. Here's the vines and the stems and these little guys over here. I've got more of my signature brushes we can show you later.
I love those
Aren't they
signature
pretty?
brushes. They're beautiful.
So these are not the brushes in the kit, but I wanted to tease you since this is our little live here. I'm very excited, and look how pretty. They've got the specialty brushes are the ones with flowers.
Oops,
yeah, can they see that?
No, we're not on camera.
There you are.
You
There
hold
are.
it on camera there.
Yeah.
It's closer to you.
Okay, and then, so I've got all the good sizes, 13 most used brushes, all right? And it's got everything in
But
there.
let's talk about the really fun part about it. Not only is it a beautiful handle, but we have our specialty brushes within the grouping also have a floral wrapped handle. And let me tell you all, this is actually Donna's original artwork that I had Donna paint out for me. Then we digitally manipulated it so that it will wrap around each brush. This set is just so beautiful.
So it's 13 brushes, so be looking for it, okay? All right, now what I want to show you is that we're going to practice on this sheet. So we take our double loader, and this brush is dampened, laid on the paper towel, and then we're going to split the brush when we pick up the paint, and then when we go over here, we push really hard and quick to work it into the bristles. Pick up a little bit more paint. Now at this point, I just want y'all to remember, if you're heavy-handed and you have too much green, you're gonna come over here and dip some more citrus green, and you're gonna work back and forth, and if you have too much sap, you can keep adding some more. And if you want it lighter, right here is where we're going to be picking up even. You can go over here and pick up some white and lighten it up, okay?
So Donna, you use sap green, citrus green, and a little bit of wicker white.
Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to notice that we split here, or we just dip one color, and we do not split it over here. So I just wanted to make sure that you see that, okay? Now you want to see from a light green all the way to a dark green, right? So now the key for these worksheets is that they're reusable. So you can, like Chris said, the teacher's at home with you, you can come right here and make sure it's blend like I want it to be. All right, and then we're going to practice this leaf. I'm going to show you a couple of these because the background's drying just a little bit.
Donna, let's share with everyone the size of the brush that you're working with, and how do they know which size brush? Let's tell them a little bit about the teaching guide and how that works.
Yeah, Chris, that's a good idea. So we have a number 12 flat. So there's no mystery here. Take your number 12 flat, double load with Prussian blue and wicker white, just like that. And it says also if you're up on the tip of the brush or if you're laying flat on the brush. And as you see me here, paint a single leaf stroke. That's what I just did there. And first time you do this, guys, I want you to go slow, really slow, slide back really slow, slide back. Now it's always going to look better when you're quick, all right? So that's slow, and then go back and go over it a couple times. Be sure though, because this paint's made to stay, make sure that you wipe it off as you go. And what I'm going to do before I head to my project is I'm going to also, on the canvas, I might need a little bit of floating medium. On here, I don't. This is how it feels when you're working on mirrors or glass or ceramic. But when see, this is a little pasty now under the lights here. So I would dip a little bit of medium, work it in, and I'm ready to go on my canvas, all right? I can also come here and pick up, or remember what I said, or just dip, dip, and flatten the brush, okay? Now, I'm going to have you take your little finger and just practice. And some of these strokes here are pulled down, okay?
And when you say the little finger, let's show them how you're actually using that to rest and let that be your guide.
Right. So this is what happens. We're going to take our finger and pull it. So I'm going to touch. I can lift my brush slightly, the front, and then my little finger pulls it. So I'm using these fingers to hold it steadfast and this finger to pull. So I might touch here and pull, or come from here and go up. But if I start here and the little finger does the movement, so you have to practice that. You'll be able to do that very quickly if you practice holding it steady. Same thing over here. Watch, if I'm here, I push down and then I pull my little finger and stand up. Stand up just like that. Okay? That looks pretty easy, huh?
Yes.
All right, so what you do now is you're going to go practice each one of the leaves. This one, I'm just pushing and I'm sliding. That's going to go on here, and this little vine is going to go on here. But we're going to go right now. Yeah, we can move those. They're noisy too. All right, let's start on here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come on here and do the underneath, so we're ready to go.
Let's make the magic happen, Donna.
Absolutely. And I know I might be quick right now, but listen, the beauty of these lives and lessons is that you can stop. You can go back and rewatch it and stop and get your stems in here. See my little fingers guiding me? And then you can come back and turn it on again and watch it again. And then you can be going here and say, this isn't like she said. I want to go watch her one more time. All right, so see, I'm starting to get this in place. But what I want you to see is, let's pull it a little bit closer too. Can they see that?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. So what I was worried and concerned about, not worried, we're not worried. We just want to make sure we know where we're headed, right? Is I want you totally, before I go any further, Chris, I want everybody to take a deep breath and relax. This is supposed to be enjoyable. You know?
It is enjoyable.
I don't want you to rush through it and feel like, oh. Now I can do a leaf like I just showed you, or I can come back and lay the other way and pull another leaf coming down. Now, I ran out of paint, so I can get more paint and then come right back here and restroke. But this might be something I wait to do at the end. I just want you to see that I kind of lay out what I think I'm going to do. So I need more paint by now. So I'm going to come right here and then go here, or I can just stroke in here and pick up what's in there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to come in here and put a little bit of a vine out here. See, I'm up on the chisel of that brush. And I'm not doing those leaves till later, but that's my map. It's planning out where I'm going. Now I want you to see, if you look at my painting, I'm way up here with the first, oops, I'm shaking a little bit there. I'm way up here, that's how high I want to go. So I like to bring them from the bottom, but if I know I want this to end up right there, I'm going to start it right there and come down to it. Or start it right down there and come up to it, one of the two. Okay, so I'm going to have another bit of that vine over here. So I'm up on the chisel and I'm doing that. And
You're getting ready for the base of the morning glories, aren't you, Donna?
I am. And now we're ready to put our flowers. So that's the fun, easiest part. All right. Oh, I forgot one more leaf. Let me do one more. And that one I put right in here, because it's got to be underneath on those gladiolas. All right, and there we go, a little over here. I got carried away, I quit soon. All right, and some of these leaves I just put all at the bottom, but a few of these I like underneath. There we go. Now we're gonna clean out our brush and let's start doing some flowers. And the first flower I did to get myself all ready for laying out where the rest of them are gonna go is I wanted to come in here and do these little guys. All right, so see how they're behind, they're underneath the gladiolas. So I came in here, this is pretty simple, and then we make little petals here. And so I want you to see the difference in the two. Thank you. I want you to see, that kind of looks like a little rose, but it's got little white stamens, little teeny stamens. And this one, I kind of loosely did what was above. So you can do it either way, and I've seen some other guys out there painting these. We're going for effect. Can you get that one?
Sure.
I love showing them how that's different too. And here is also different, where I did some darker blues in the background and flipped it and did some whites on top. So I think all three of them give you that look of a...
Well, no two flowers are ever
Right.
the same, right, Donna?
Well, yes, and all
this is-
artists have a different look.
Right. Right.
And that's the same artist. See the different look? And I like that. Didn't you like the way I shadowed that one?
Yes, that's very
so
nice.
It's got floating medium shadowing in it. Oh, but we got to go here.
So we're going to
we're
be using Prussian blue and wicker white and a little bit of cobalt blue as well, right?
Right. All right, so we're going to come right between here. I got a little bit of cobalt and wicker white, and then I'm going to work this in, and so that's the brightness I might have wanted. And then I'm going to dip the Prussian blue. Now I mostly use the cobalt on the morning glories, right?
And while you're loading up your brush there, Donna, I'd like to invite all of our viewers, if you have any questions, if you'd like to make a comment to Donna, please let us know, and we're going to share those, and we can get your answers right here, right now in River City.
We'd like to talk to you, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you're making a comment, be sure and share with us too that where you're located from. I noticed so far that we've got folks following from Boston, John. And we've got a lot of folks that are coming from Tennessee, so that's kind of fun.
Oh, I like going to Tennessee, guys. I try to go there every year.
Oh, I know. I see someone from the UK is following us too. Jill is watching today.
Oh,
so
hi, Jill.
we welcome everyone, and I hope you're enjoying our lesson with Donna today.
Okay.
Donna, let's talk about what you're doing here.
All right, so what I want to do is practice doing the stroke just to build my confidence. But this is what I want to share with you. This is what you guys are doing. You're out there and you're going, you're looking and saying, yeah, I'm supposed to do that, but I don't see how you did that. Well, all you have to do, guys, is go here first. All right, and then look, there's a second stroke. All right, so the most important thing is, though, if you have this right in front of you, sit it right in front of you. When I walk around and I'm teaching and in a classroom, they'll go, well, how dark do you want that? How light? I said, get your picture. It's right in front of you. There it is, guys. You have
Teacher
it.
in a box.
Yeah, you have your kit right there. You've got the picture right there. You're ready to go.
If you'll pass me a paper towel, I'll clean this up for you while you
Thank
start
you.
painting.
Thank you. All right, so these I'm just kind of pulling, see? And now you got to leave a little bit of space. Y'all know why you got to leave a little space? Are you guys out there answering me? Why do we want a little bit of space in between? Y'all are too into
No,
for the green.
they've been told to be quiet.
Okay, so we can put leaves in between. All right. And it's a stalk flower, but we want to open up our stalk flowers sometimes. All right, so I really want y'all to practice using that little finger, which means, look how low down I'm on this brush. If you're way up there, your little finger might not reach. But think about that as you're painting, okay? So I'm going to come in here, and I can even put stamens in later, a few leaves in later, and then about this point, I start doing a few wiggles. All right, I keep coming over here. Should I show them how I'm picking up the white, Miss Chris?
I think that would be a wise thing. And let's tell them, excuse me, what your paint is loaded up in. Let's talk about your double loader for a moment.
Oh yeah, so my double loader has been a miracle tool because when we've tested or did surveys with people about what's the hardest thing for them about one stroke, and the one where they felt like they were least successful with was loading. So this tool helps you have such success with loading because I'm controlling you in the spot, and you're not over blending and mixing the paint and having mud. All right, so
It's a perfect tool for beginners.
Yes, it is, and it also controls your paint to keep you not messy. When I'm using my fabric paint, for instance, what happens with this is I'm able to keep it from running into each other. So it's just a really good tool for all those things. All right.
And when working with the FolkArt acrylics, you can easily clean it out.
Yes.
And keep it clean then for reusable, I guess I should say.
And if it dries up, if you have paint that you left and some of it's dried in there, or like me when I've run out and forgot, oh no, I didn't clean it. I put it in the sink, let it sit there for like 5 minutes with water in it, and I come over with my scruffy and or my sprayer on the sink, and it comes right out. They actually float off of here.
We've got a couple people saying that they love their double loaders. So
Well,
we have
thank
some
you.
people out there that are avid one-stroke painters, Donna, and they love your double loader.
Thank you. I hope you guys like my lavender tools too. We got pretty lavender tools with a double loader in that too. All right, so what are our tools, Chris? Can you tell them what 3 tools we have?
We have the double loader, the one-stroke palette, and the one-stroke brush caddy.
Yeah, so I have this actually in the palette.
That's right.
All right, and show them the lid. Do we still have the lid here?
No, we don't. Sorry, it went off camera.
Okay. I saw something under there.
Oh, is
so I
it?
thought it was under
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, sorry. My fault. My bad.
No, you couldn't see it. I was.
You're going to have to show because I don't have the camera.
All right. So here's our top to our double loader. And so the lid pops off. You wet this little sponge, put it inside, and this pops right on top. If you put these 2 notches, it'll pop right on top of the paint, and you can save the paint so it won't dry out while you run and do things. So now what's happening with this is this will not pop on while it's inside the double loader. So you just take, the palette. So I can just lift my palette out and then it pops on. All right. And this is made to put foam plates in here too if you want. But the double loader is really nice. So you can stand at your easel and it's ready to go. All right. I like tools. Can you tell? How many of you are enjoying Flowers of the Month? And have you painted for anybody's birthdays yet? That's what this was all about, birthday flowers. And seasonal too, right?
Most definitely.
Okay, so this is time consuming. The rest of the flowers don't take as much time as doing a little petal flower. So I'm just showing you that I decided about right here. Okay, that's all of those I want to do. But they're a very pretty flower when they're growing in your garden too, aren't they, Chris?
Donna, we have a question.
Yes.
Gloria is asking that when we clean the paint out of the double loader, are we using hot or cold water?
You know what? I think mostly I've used cold water, but the key is I take my scruffy with me and I just kind of swish it with my scruffy and it cleans out pretty easy, honey. All right, but
Good question.
Yeah, that is. Okay, so I did my morning glories last, so let's jump in and do Gladiolas. Now, Gladiolas, some people think are kind of tricky, but if you've already done the Gladiola with me, you're going to think this is really fun to put all these together. So let's go back. This is one that you really do need to practice if you've never done this before. And the key, remember I said the triangle of design? It's kind of the same way. There's many flowers like orchids, different flowers, bromeliads that have a 3 triangle petal system, and then another 3 petals go on top. You see that? This is your back 3, and then you layer in between each one of those the second set of 3. And that's this one that comes forward. If we make a scoop in here like a smile, see? If we make a smile right in there, then the stems come from inside, the trumpet-like of it, and then this petal is supposed to come looking like it's coming towards you. All right, and you'll see that. You've seen orchids that look like that.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. So there we go. So there's the back 3, and then here's the top 3. Okay, so this is really good to paint this whole. You can put this next to you and paint that whole stem and just practice that way because that's the actual size. How fun is that? All right, so let's go over here. I didn't have a stem over here far enough. Oop, I didn't practice on here, did I?
No, we need to do that.
Okay, that's what I want you to do.
While you're getting ready to set up for practicing the Gladiola, Donna, let me share with you that we've got people tuning in from many states here in the United States, but really cool. Someone just joined us from Sweden.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, all the way from, I saw someone from the UK here and now someone from.
That is awesome, guys. Isn't technology wonderful?
Yes.
I'm so
FolkArt One Stroke is loved by many all around the world. Isn't it a joy to be able to share your passion for painting, Donna?
I know my online classes where I'm teaching people from South Africa at the same time somebody's there from India, at the same time from the UK or Canada, and we just have such a good time. Now, my friend from India had to wake up at 3 in the morning to be there with us, but she went to bed early so she could. But it's wonderful. I love it. Okay.
So before we start, let's tell people while you were busy loading your brush that you're using moon yellow, apple red, and a touch of wicker white.
All right, so
And
exactly.
you're using what size brush, Donna?
This
It's
is a 16 flat.
16? Okay. I thought it
It
was
says
a 12.
12 in here, but I want, for this project, I want it a little bit bigger.
All righty then.
All right, so now look what
Go
happened.
big or go home, huh?
I'm not using a 3/4. I'm just using a 16. All right, so if you notice I had a little bit of white there. So if this isn't the shade you want, you keep working with it till you get the shade you want. So look, we're gonna come all to see the pretty white that stands out there. We're gonna wiggle up. So you see my arrows, it's real simple for you. You lay it there, you go very slow first, up, lean out, and slide down. Now what I like to share with you, if you're not comfortable with coming back down, turn it upside down and do the other side right here. Okay, and touch. Now one thing I tell you, if you start your brush on these these two lines right here, when you're on that line and you're sliding up, that helps you figure, like when I do this other side, I'm on a line again, and there you are. Now all I want you to make sure is when you come to the point, it's a nice pretty point. So you're going to practice those, but we're going to lay it out on our piece. I'm going to let you wipe this up when you get a chance, if
Sure.
that's okay. Oops, I need this. All right. Are you guys having fun yet?
I think everyone at home is having fun, Donna.
Well, I did a live the other day, and I have to tell you, nobody was asking questions, nobody was making a sound, and they finally said, "We're just watching you. We're afraid we'll miss something if we stop and type." That's a good thing, right?
Well, and the best thing about this sort of class that we're doing now, even though someone may not be painting along with you at home right now, they may just be watching and learning. And this is available on demand. It will be on Plaid Crafts Facebook page, and we will share this into the Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group, so everyone can watch this class later.
That's great. All right, so I have a little boo-boo. It's not really a boo-boo because it's all happy mistakes that we can turn into something else. It's not really a mistake. I just didn't. I need one over here, a stem over here. So I'm going to come over this way because after I got the blue, it was bigger than I thought. All right, so I can just keep coming over a little bit more here. And this one looks like it's going to be in the good place, but this one I started putting in there, and I needed one more way over here. You see that?
While you're doing that too, let's just share with everyone again what you're talking about. One more stem
Right
here,
here.
one more stem there.
See, there's a stem there and a stem there, and this one's way over there. But I put it really close. See, I put it right here. Now, if my stem's showing through, some people get really worried about that. All right? All I do is pick up more paint and restroke. Now, there's some colors that you don't have to worry about if you're using the colors we tell you to. But some colors are transparent. That one's the easy one to remember. But opaque, I didn't know what that meant. That means I feel like it's got like a white base in it and it covers better. Like, see, that white will help cover that stem. So if you're worried about that, you can do that. But when we can put more green in there, we're good. So when I need to go get more, I'm going to get both those colors, or I can go right in between those colors and work it in and then be ready for my white. Okay, work it in. All right, now I'm going to have this little bit of color that just disappears behind the blue, and then I'm going to come right here and see how I'm overlaying that. Now let's go ahead and do the little ones on this side too. Okay, so if I do them over here on this side, then I will be ready for my big larger 6-petal gladiolas. Okay, that's mud. See the difference? There's mud. I don't want mud. And right here, see how it's clean? So that's what many people do. So we want to lose that mud. So the way to get rid of that is we're going to pick up fresh paint, and if it gets mucky, come here and wipe it off, because inside the paint's still there. All right, so then I want to pick up a little bit of white. All right, now look how I can fix this. I want to come here. I need it to be fixed, Donna. When it doesn't get fixed, you were supposed to see miracles right then. All right, so look, I can come back on here, a little bit more white, come back in here. See how it cleans it up? A little bit more white, and there. So it doesn't look muddy anymore. Do you see that? You can also just pull some in like this.
There's a lot more definition in the color.
Yeah, see that? And it didn't look like mud. So when it's all blended together, it looks really muddy. All right, so before I do that, Chris, I think I need to come back and put a few more little green, greenery at the bottom, like the stamens.
And while you're doing that, let me just share with you that Julie, who's one of our viewers watching you today, said that you were her Santity partner when she had toddlers. And when they went down for a nap, she spent that time with you and watching you. And she said now her toddlers are 14, 18, 20, 21, and 24 years old.
We must have had the same time together, because I would, to keep my sanity with my 7 children, I would paint all night. But my husband said, you can't paint all night, you'll be grumpy in the morning. But it was my sanity. Now look what happens. I'm using a 6 flat now. Now when I'm using 12 or smaller, 12 can go either way. I want you to pick up the darker color or the predominant color. I'm going to side load a little bit of the citrus green. Thank you for sharing that with me, sweetie. I can remember those days. All right, so we're going to come right here and we're going to just add a few, that's still a little bit dark. Right in here, you want a splattering of little calyx that will come in here. And the reason I have to do this now is we're going to put a large open gladiola blossom, and when we do that, we want this green underneath. I really don't want you trying to fit something to make it look like it was underneath. I would rather you paint it underneath. Even if we paint this whole flower on top and you don't ever see this green leaf that you might have put there, it is smarter to do it now, because the chances are some of it will peep through. All right, so are you having fun yet? Have you learned anything? This is what I always ask. Sometimes I don't want to ask. If we're base coating, I'm not going to say. Are you having fun yet? I think I'll wait till they're actually creating. So I want you to see, I want you to see and I'd like you to know that each little step can be something that you learn that you might not have remembered, but write it down. It helps you to say, because how many of you have thought, I'm going to always remember that. That was so cool. And I get home and I'm like, what was it? She just taught me something. What was that? Okay. Now here we go. You can use a 12 or the 16 I'm using. All right. So right here, I'm going to, I always go right straight in the center first, and I don't want to do that. I want to do this. All right. My triangle. And then I'm going to have another triangle that's bigger right down here somewhere. So I want it tilted just a little bit, so I can tilt it this way. So this is what's going to happen, guys. We're going to make sure we have a little bit of light. And I'm going to come right out here, wiggle up, reverse direction, wiggle down. Now remember, the green shows through a little bit. If you're unhappy with that, you could come back and put a little bit more paint. And yellow's transparent, so I want something that covers it a little better, which would be a little bit of white. Okay, and so then right here, this is the one in front. Remember, this one stands out pretty good. All right. Now let's pick up right here. I'm going to move this down a little bit more. That's going to be my underneath petal. And it's okay if it covers another flower. That's what a lot of people worry about. That, oh my gosh, I just went over a leaf. Guess what? You can paint another leaf, or it looks more natural. All right? So now let's put in our second row. So the second row, I can put one right there. Now see, it's wet on wet. That's the beauty too of our technique. With the one stroke, you can put wet paint right on wet paint. All right, so after we do these strokes, we're gonna go into our morning glory, because I want to let this set up and dry just a little bit before I do the center. All right. See how I'm making sure I have white? Okay. Right in here and back. So when you move this going up and back and doing it at one step instead of, turning it and making it 2 strokes like I showed you could do, you're going to get petals that look like they turn. See, if I come to here and I go back and do it the other side, they're going to look exact. But look what happens. If I come here and I push down and stand up, you're going to get a different look, so it looks more interesting.
Donna, I think the beauty of learning how to paint your FolkArt One Stroke flowers too is the fact that Larkspur is often found as a blue colored flower, but sometimes you can, when you're painting, throw in a little purple, a little Doxine purple, or a violet pansy. If you're working on gladiolas, we all know that gladiolas come in many, many different colors. So once you learn the basics of the stroke work to complete each of the flowers, have fun and really change those colors up when you begin painting more and more, right?
Yeah, I'd love to go online and put in gladiolas and see every single color gladiola that's out there. And then you might have one that works in your decor or the gift you're making for somebody. You can, oh, she really loves bright yellow, she loves red, and you're able to come back and do that for them. Just like you said, that's good. And you can do all blue and white, tone on tone. You can do fun.
I love that monochromatic look when it is all just one color family.
That word, yeah.
Monochromatic?
Yes. Half the time I can say that right. Okay, guys, let's go right here. All right, so we are going to let those dry a little bit, and then let's put in our morning glories.
All right, let's teach everybody how to use the reusable teaching guide. Okay. And I'll take your canvas out of the way.
All right, so let's look at these morning glories. Now, I'm going to use 2 different size brushes. I'm using a 12, and then I'm going to use, the 12, but I'm going to have 2 different brushes, so I guess I'll use the 16. All right, so I'm going to pick up right here and go into the wicker white and apple red, because I want a pink. Now, I can use magenta, or I can just use the apple red right here, apple red and white, wicker white. All right, there we go. So then this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get the blend. Do I have the blend? Yeah, see, that's just, it can be magenta or it can be apple red. All right, and then I'm going to come in here, and this is my trumpet. Now it's going to tell you right there, make a U. And look, I got too far out. All I do is wipe it off and try it again. Now, the way you get this look is this is what most people do. They'll go flat like this and turn like that. Does that look like that? No. Okay. So the little tricks that happen, I just want to show you little tricks to make this happen, is I'm steadying my finger. I'm starting on the chisel on this edge. I start there, I scoop down with pressure on the brush, and then I let it scoop back up on the chisel. So I can even fill in that area, and that's the trumpet area that I want for the flowers. See that? All right, so then with
Donna, if a beginner is doing this at home by themselves, we might tell them that it's okay to wipe that off and practice that one stroke maybe 6 times, 10 times, however many times it takes them to feel comfortable painting that one particular stroke, right?
Exactly, and the first key I told you is you go really slow, but it always looks better when it's quick. But at first, this is going to be the perfect example, Chris, right here. The first thing you want to do is you want to touch this. Let's start here. And where's my blue? Right here. All right, I'm going to see if I got the color I want. Then I want to start here, and I'm going to push down and stand up slowly. Touch here, push down, and stand up. Now, do you notice I never turn this brush? It's pressure, release, touch, pressure, stand up to the point. Now, this takes practice, and then you can get where you're pretty quick at it.
And you know, I see you moving that reusable teaching guide around. Let's make sure that we tell everyone that they have basically permission to change their canvas, hold it, move it, whatever.
They always think you can't.
Right. I think beginners often feel like they need to keep that canvas straight on right in front of them, and it really is a lot easier once you move that reusable teaching guide so that the strokes are comfortable to pull towards you.
Exactly. Now I want to put the pink in behind this. So after I practice this, this does take practice, I promise. This takes practice. Does that mean that's hard? It's not hard. It takes practice though. All right, I'm going to come right in here and I'm going to do a little smile right in here. From here to here. And then I can come in with a little bit of red, apple red, and just pull from the center. Can you all see that? Pull from the center. Now that gives you that smile right in there. And then we can use our liner, especially if you're a newbie, but I like to use flats usually, so I'm going to show you. We can use this blue, even your Prussian blue even, and I can come right in here after the pinks there, and every one of these spots where I went to a point, I can touch and pull into the middle of that flower. And I can put a little white with a script liner. But the key is, look what happens. If I put a little yellow there, you don't see any evidence done. Okay, now that did take practice, but I told you it is not hard. Now, and I know you're saying, well, you're saying that. But listen, there's your teacher. I'm there with you. Come on, just practice right there and then do it. But this is what short-term memory, I don't know if you're like me, if I'm going to do this little stroke and put the second stroke and the third stroke for the bud, go right now and do that on your piece. Okay? So let's go. Let's start.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes,
I'm ready.
I'll trade you.
You don't mind wiping for me? I'm cleaning up my strokes. All right. So this is what happens. So you can see through this. Now, if you can see through it, you can just go back and restroke over some of that, all right, if that makes you happy. I also want to go back and show you. We're going to come right here and put a little bit of red with a small brush. This is apple red. I'm going to make that smile that I just did into the morning glory right here. All right, and then pull some of that red up. Okay. So we would really like to know your favorite brush and your favorite color. So if you're out there watching, tell us some of that so Chris can let us know. Or your favorite, tell us what your favorite lesson so far this year has been on flowers.
I was just going to ask you the same thing. What was your favorite flower out of all 12 to paint this year, Donna?
I don't know. You know, we just did some surprises for everybody to see. And what I really, when I was painting it, I thought, I love doing that sweet pea. So roses have been one of my favorite. But if I sit back and think, what do I relax and enjoy? I think for you guys out there was probably the one that you achieved that you didn't know you could do. Oh, but you know what? I love those marigolds.
Marigolds? I thought you were going to say the paper whites, December.
You
loved that project too.
Yes, I thought it turned out really pretty. I couldn't believe I did it. Have you ever felt that way? I can't believe I did it. I don't know, there's so many fun ones, but I have to tell you, in my little gift shop I used to have, my sister and I, husbands would come in and say, I want a flower arrangement for my wife or a clay pot, and I want birthday flowers on it. And I'd go, we didn't have the internet back then. I'd go, somebody go find out what those are. So it's nice to see when we were talking about doing this, how fun it would be to know all those flowers. All right, I've got a mess going over here.
Donna, while you're cleaning up your and getting ready for your next step there, I'll share with you that a viewer, Jana, says her favorite was the carnations and the roses. And your peace rose that you taught in June was completely different than your traditional cabbage rose, which was kind of fun and different.
And it's successful too, I think, the peace rose. The open rose there's lots of steps you can leave out.
Let me just share with our viewers too, if they are brand new to Let's Paint, let me give you a website. I would love for you to join us and learn more about the Let's Paint group. If you go to plaidonline.com/Let's Paint, you'll learn everything about our Let's Paint program. especially the Flower of the Month here with Donna Dewberry. You'll be able to see all 12 flowers of the month. With our Let's Paint program, we also have a studio lessons section with Andy Jones. Andy's also busy teaching us skill builders. And we also have our Let's Paint Live, which is the first Thursday of every month. And that's a 1-hour paint at your home, kind of like a sip and strokes type class. So we have lots and lots to offer you in our Let's Paint program, and we're excited to share all of that with you.
It is. There's a lot. I love it. And I love seeing what you guys do from it. Now, you don't have to put a trumpet on every one of those. Sometimes you can just come in and have a front view, like face to open face. Is that what you call it? Open face?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to come right here, and I'm going to start doing that little tricky beginning all the way around.
And let's share with everyone again, that's all about the pressure.
Push, stand up, lift, push. When I lift, I'm going to a point. All right, and sometimes as I'm doing this, I'm like, oh, that's a little small. I want it a little bit bigger. See how easy it is to fix that? Now, if I were you doing this, I would take maybe a piece of chalk and draw where the shape of this flower is instead of just freehanding out here like this.
Maybe make like a shape of an oval, Donna?
Yes, I think. And or you can say I want a peak here and a peak there, and see how I come back in here because I'm kind of freehanding it and seeing where I want those to go. I also I'm going to do it one more time. Let's watch one more time. All right, let's do an open face one right here. So, oh, this is how I do it. Sorry. Oh, there's one step I forgot to tell you. Look at that. If you go like that, this will make it easy for you because I can go right here and make them small, or I can do them bigger from here to there. To there and skip it, that one spot there. So see, that's not too hard if you have some kind of gauge of where you want it to go. And so there's no problem. See how I got a little short here because I did it smaller? And look, I'm just going to come out here and restroke. That's the beauty of one stroke, guys, is that you can come in here and restroke. I'm going to put a little bit of pink in there later, okay, and fill it in. And the last one of these guys, we're almost through. I hope you've enjoyed today, where we are learning. I'm a little ahead of myself, though. I got a few more little.
Well, I think we've got leaves and some
I know.
tendrils and curlicues.
Okay, now look, I'm turning it around. Now I'm trying to go pretty fast here, so I've got a few things that I would probably go back and restroke to make sure it's really clean and just like I want it. But you know what? Most people, I know you're hard on yourself, but what I love is, Chris, you know, you can tell people about paint fairies.
Paint Perries?
Fairies.
Oh, fairies.
When you
I thought I heard you say Perries, and I'm like, what are paint Perries?
When you wake up in the morning and, oh my gosh, that's so pretty.
Sometimes you do just have to take a step back.
Yes.
Exactly.
And also, my favorite comment is my family came out and saw what I did, and they said, you did that? I didn't know you were an artist, somebody says to my friends. And the first time that that's said to you, you're going to go, oh, I'm not an artist, but they thought I was. How fun is that, right? Okay, I'm going to finish the center. All right, so we're also on the shopping channel doing greeting cards. Have you guys seen the greeting cards? What a perfect way to take the flowers and make a beautiful card with just one, like we just did ornaments. There's, think about the different things that you can do with flowers. So think about flowers, making greeting cards, painting on glasses and vases for a set for somebody, and do the different flower tops. You don't even have to do all the stems, just a couple of flowers, all right? So remember, that's that little smile I put in there, and then I pick up a little bit of pink, and we just have to finish the center of the gladiolas, and I'm gonna do a little tricky little leaf here. All right.
And I just want to remind everyone that you are Donna Dewberry, and you are painting this all in a little bit more than maybe an hour's time frame. But our good viewers and friends at home, they can be able to pull this up on demand and watch and paint along with you. And the best way to do that is to watch a little bit and then pause the video. Then actually accomplish it and try it at home.
Yes.
And then rewind if they need to, watch the next step, and it's just so fun to follow along with you at their own convenience, in their own home, at their own kitchen table or art studio, and take it one step at a time. The key about this is always enjoying. I know personally when I have a paintbrush in my hand, World War III can go on. I am so at peace with myself. And this is what I want for our viewers too, is to just thoroughly enjoy every single paint stroke.
I like that, and when people say I'm their therapy, I know exactly what they mean with 7 children, especially 4 teenage daughters at the same time. You need therapy sometime with that. Okay.
And Donna, let me just say too, Kathy's chiming in, and she says she did some painting with you years ago. I don't know what made her to stop. Shame on you, Kathy, for stopping, but she's hoping to start back up again.
Oh, awesome. That's what we want to hear. So many people on YouTube have said, I found you. I thought you were gone. All right, so I love that. I love newbies and oldies coming back too. So I want you to see this leaf. And this leaf is the one I already showed you on the worksheet. All right, so I want you to come in with like a V. I want you to start here flat. Can y'all see this? We're gonna go right here. I'm gonna get a little bit of white because I've got green on the light green, because I've got green on top of green. So I'm going to wiggle out, slide in, wiggle out, slide in, and wiggle down to the point. Okay, now that's a little tricky. So look, you could just go 1. Are y'all with me? Watch this. This is a little trick. 1, 2, and 3. And you still kind of have the shape, right? So we're not cheating. You can just try that, and that looks good too. All right, that's what I like to share with you. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't put these little green guys all up in here. So I'm just going to come in here. It's better with a smaller brush. I'm going to come in here and put a few. Make sure they're nice and bright, because it looks really good. Just a few, so that you can see. Oh, that is a stem flower, and it's all coming down here. Now, what else did I put? I didn't put my blue in here. Let's put the blue. I skipped right past that. You were supposed to put the blue, remember? No, you're supposed to put the pink first. That's right. I thought I put the pink too soon. There you go.
This kind of helps to divide each of those petals, doesn't it, Donna?
Yeah, so the ones on top go all the way into the trumpet, and the ones underneath right here just go to that ridge. See that, right to that ridge? And then this goes all the way into the trumpet. Just makes it look a little bit more realistic. So all these little steps make this flower look really good. But even if you didn't put every single step in here, this still would look like a morning glory if it's the right shape and the right color, okay? So I take the handle of my brush and I dip dot centers, which cover a multitude, and pop that flower out.
And that is moon yellow.
Moon yellow.
Uh-huh.
I get so into it. Chris has to say, what color? What color was that? Okay.
If you're just joining us today, let me just introduce to you Donna Dewberry. She is the original creator of the folk art method of one-stroke painting. And I'm Chris Williams. Together we are in Plaid Studios, sharing with you the quarterly roundup of the flower of the month from our Let's Paint program. And Donna is creating this gorgeous bouquet. This bouquet covers the Larkspur flower, which is the flower of the month for July. The Gladiolas are the flower of the month for August, and the Morning Glory that she just dotted the centers is the September flower of the month. So I hope you are enjoying our lessons today, and Donna's going to now finish up the painting and kind of share with you her finishing touches.
Okay, thank you. So I need my script liner. Here we go. All right, so inside these flowers, now I told you if I had more time and we were at home working on this like you are, I want you to know I'm going to make this white a little inky, okay? I would probably have restroked those again just after they've dried. Everything else I'm good with, but because of time, I'm just going to go ahead and touch and pull, because sometimes these little stamens make up for that. Can you see them? Can you guys see them out there? All right. I've got a very quiet group trying to behave out here. A bunch of my one-strokers in the room with us. How fun is that? And they are all sitting there watching and painting.
We have a viewer named Deborah, and Donna, she says that she watched you on PBS years ago.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Deborah.
All right, everyone, let me just share with you, if y'all want to wave, feel free to. We are sponsoring a FolkArt One Stroke workshop this weekend, and most of the, I should say, the other half of our class is upstairs in the training room. The gals that just waved to you were fortunate to be able to come and join us in the studio during this Facebook Live today. The other half, as I said, is upstairs in our training room, and we are having the best time. Donna Dewberry is sharing a full weekend. That's all day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here at Plaid Crafts. And she's going to be teaching all kinds of fabulous one-stroke holiday designs.
Yes, learning technique and fun. Okay, last little thing. Let's put some curly cues and sign this baby, and we're done, right? Right?
Yes.
Chris isn't answering me back. She's reading
I'm
all
reading,
your
yes.
messages.
Oh, show us what you're doing there, Donna.
Okay, so what I'd like to finish it off is a few curls. So I made it really inky.
And
with
what
water.
color are we working with,
All
Donna?
right, this is sap green and a 2-script liner, and I'm making it all inky right here, rolling in the brush, and then pulling out from that. You might want a foam plate for that. All right, so this is the key. You hold this brush like you're holding a pencil, and then you go up to your first knuckle there, or second knuckle, and you're gonna go circles with my little finger, slowly drop, and then make curls, okay? So.
And real morning glories actually have lots of curlicue little trendles.
I know, but it's easier not to be up there wandering around. It's easier to use your finger. So look, I start here, and look, my little finger is real important. Y'all need to practice this little finger thing because it's going to help you. Now look, there you are.
Let's show the original and our one that we just kind of dashed in an hour.
In an hour. Look at this.
Yeah, isn't that great?
I was worried, but look, I could do better, but look how.
I think the only thing that's missing on your one right now, as you mentioned to everyone, you were going to trim your edges, and you didn't sign that one, Donna. I need your signature on it.
Yes, ma'am. But this goes inside of a frame, so that's why I said on this one, if you're going to frame it, you don't need the edges. But what's really nice is you don't have to frame the wrap canvas, which saves money sometimes. And if you don't know somebody's decor, it's nice to just give it to them and go in any of their rooms. All right, so I'm going to all downward strokes to sign Donna.
D-O-N-N-A.
And you notice I do all caps because, oh, and look at this. The beautiful thing about this paint, everybody that when I work with kids and adults that went, oh, that's ugly, and even Donna does an ugly one. Look, you can rub it right off with paper towels and water, and everybody's afraid it's going to take off everything, but it doesn't. Look at this. You can take it right off. A Q-tip's better than a big wad, but this has got that sealer in it, so it comes off. It comes off really easy without wrecking your underneath.
Someone just joined us a few moments ago, Donna, and commented on the beautiful background. So let's tell them one more time what colors you use on the background and how did you achieve that?
Okay, we just had a wonderful sponge that's in here now, and that's our home decor.
FolkArt home decor sponge.
That's all.
Yeah.
But we said it's a man-made sea sponge.
And what colors did you use?
And what I did was wonderful multi-surface Prussian blue and wicker white on that sponge. And I passed around the edges, and we get all the shades. Look how pretty that is. And it looks yummy. And what most people, when they sponge, they think that you do all dark one color, then you go back and get all white and really dab the white on there. But it does look like separate colors. We want to meld those into each other from dark to light. All right, isn't that fun?
I think you did a fabulous job today. Woo!
Now I'm taking a big breath.
Oh, goodness. And I want to tell you all that as we've said several times, we hope and know that many of you are enjoying our Flower of the Month program this year.
It's fun.
So this was the third quarter roundup. Shall we tease everyone with what's going to happen in the fourth quarter?
I wanted to show the next one that I really like.
Okay. So for the month of October, our flower is a
marigold. And if you have a garden, you're going to know that these are the best friends in your garden because it keeps insects away. Because I knew that part even when I didn't know how to paint. But what I love about this, it might not be your favorite colors. It might not be, it's not my thing. I love this. I love the shading in the back. I love the contrast of the colors and the container with the glare. But my favorite is this color combination with these great leaves. Those are new leaves I've done. Isn't that fun? So usually we don't always, if you're in a florist, you rip off all the original leaves and then you put fake ones in there like fern and baby's breath. Well, on this one, I concentrated on getting their leaves. All right, so mine might be bigger versions of their leaves, but isn't that pretty?
I like the color.
She goes, why do you like that a lot? I said, I just like it. Don't you girls like this?
Yes.
And you're going to say anything I asked you to say, right?
Yes.
For the month of November, our flower, which is Donna's birth
that's my
month,
birthday.
November 6th,
I
yes.
always say that every time, right?
We were filming this one, the lesson on this one, and Donna kept saying, my birth flower, my
That's
birth
my
flower, my birthday. So this is a chrysanthemum, and you'll notice the container on this one's really different because it's not a full container. It's kind of shown offside, and you kind of did the golden color mums, so it's kind of really perfect for that fall season.
These are some good strokes to learn on this.
Yes.
And how we, come down and how you still have the two colors, So anyway, we tried to do different containers, and I want you to notice that when you look at our containers, not often do we put it dead center in the middle. So we showed different varieties of how a nice arrangement looks in different ways. Like, look, that one's over to the side.
This
one's
is the
off
last
edge.
flower of the year. This is for the month of December, and these are paper whites. And this container kind of looks more like an urn of sorts, and maybe more has a cement looking like finish to it.
About that one, I did that. When I look at that, I go, wow, I did that. I know that's silly. That's how I felt when I did it. Isn't that pretty?
I hope you all have enjoyed our Facebook Live today. Let me one more time share with you, please, to visit plaidonline.com/Let's Paint. There you'll find all 12 flowers and enjoy the whole month or the whole year with Donna. So I thank you all for tuning in with us today. I hope you enjoyed a lot. More importantly, I hope you learned a lot. And we'll try this project and paint along with Donna.
Thank
so
you.
Until next quarter, that'll be in December, we'll round up the fourth quarter of the year. And until then, we wish you all happy, happy painting. And come on,
let's paint.